What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is BC. Welcome back to another evening live. People may be a little less interested in this one since it's a prediction and economy type of talk. I'll keep it brief. I won't keep it too long. I wanted to come on and give people just kind of my thoughts. I will do a long form video too for YouTube for searchability and all that stuff too. But let's get down to it, right? Now, if you're an entrepreneur, markets are going to fluctuate, right? Markets always fluctuate. That's just the nature of business, right? Everything has its cycles, right? The seasons, everything, right? Day and night and in between. So knowing that, there's a couple things you can do, right? Now we're in an interesting position right now, especially from the real estate side, right? On the economy side, right? Kind of sucks. Interest rates have gone up. There hasn't been too much positivity out there about the economy, right? We've seen gas prices go up, inflation go up. So from a consumer confidence standpoint, it's really low. What you need to understand is this from the real estate standpoint, right? It's weird because typically it's inversely proportional. When interest rates go up, you're going to see just as quickly or just as steeply, you're going to see prices reduce. You're not seeing that in today's market. For the most part, in 2023, right, and going into 2024, prices have stayed the same. If they've gone down in certain markets, maybe only a little bit, right? So typically, that's the relationship that you're going to see in this game. The reason that's happening is inventory levels are still very, very low across the nation for the most part. You may see an uptick right now because we're into the new year, right? You know, the whole spring and summer market and all that fun stuff. But relatively speaking, though, because people forget, right? For you to have a normal market, right, it's 6 to 12 months of inventory in most markets, okay? Most markets right now are still between 0 and 6, which is the seller's market. Anything above 12, which is 1 year of inventory, would be a buyer's market. That's the general rule of thumb, right? Most places right now, I would assume, unless we have little niche or super hyper specific and hyper local examples, most places are still in seller's markets right now. So we see the interest rates go up. Prices pretty much stay the same. So I would say right now, for an individual, right, especially like a buyer, you're kind of like in this unique position because when you see what's happening, we know, and it's been announced that the Fed is going to lower the rates, right? We know throughout the rest of the year, even though the last 2 or 3 months, we've seen about a 2% decrease in the interest rates. Well, it's projected to go down even more, another 2-3%, I think, just this year alone. That number might be off. You might want to double check it. So what that's going to do, it's going to cause a surge, like I said last month, third and fourth quarter. But a buyer right now may have a small window where they can take advantage of this, right? Where they might pay a slightly higher interest rate, but they can beat the rush. What happens when the rush comes in? Prices go up. Then people start jumping over the top of each other to get houses. They start overpaying. They pay 10, 20, 40, 50, $100,000 above asking price, right? It would be better if you look at those scenarios for that buyer to maybe buy with a 1 or 2% higher interest rate, but not overpay 40, 50,000 on the home and not get any concessions over the long haul, right? Because what can they do? They can buy, and then when the interest rates go down, what can they do? Refinance. There you go. They just save themselves some money. So looking at the economy and the real estate predictions, like, real estate wise, it'll probably still be kind of like it is now for the next couple months, but I'm guessing by the end of the second quarter, going into the end of the summer, third, fourth quarter, you're going to see a surge for sure because they're going to keep lowering the interest rates. Inventories is still low, and even though there's a lot of hoorah in the market right now, and the news, you're going to see it go up. Right now, typically people will complain either way. Oh, prices are out of control, this and that. But that's pretty much my synopsis. Now, for the economy, who knows, right? With the government we have and all that, you really have no idea. Inflation, right, has gone up, right? The value of the dollar is plummeting. It's just crazy, right? What you're seeing right now is kind of like an erosion of the middle class. Like you either got money now and you're making money, or you're not. And if you're not, it's hurting. If you're making a lot of money, it doesn't really matter, right? Like people who are in my position, right? I stop and think a lot of times to relate to the average person who can't pay for gas. I'm not in that position anymore because of my hard work, and I started 10 years ago, right? But if someone finds themselves in that position, I can feel with them. And that's why I never really diss, blue collar workers and all that, because they're the ones that prop up this whole system and keep everything going. So I feel for them because they're working their ass off and not making that much money. Price of goods and price of everything increases, but the value of their dollar isn't, right? It's not increasing at the same rate. So for a lot of people in regards to that, you need to figure out a way to make more money, whether it's temporarily get a second job, right? Potentially create your own little side hustle or side business to make some money, because moving forward, that $100,000 that people were going after, that 6-figure mark that would get you the life of your dreams, well, we're very quickly getting to a point where 6 figures is like, not that many people are making it still, right? 7% of people make over 150, but it doesn't have the power and potency that it used to have. So you need to have bigger aspirations. You need to be going for 2, 3, 400,000. Like my guess, and this is my guess, making 100K 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? I would say now, to have that same kind of power, you probably have to make like double that to buy the same amount of stuff, the same house and all that. Like maybe even more. That gap might even be bigger. So I know a lot of people put their ceiling or their sights on making 100 grand. I'm highly going to recommend that you push for a lot more than that, because the way the economy is going, right? Especially if you're in the real estate market as an agent or an investor and you're kind of going through a dull time. Like I have a friend, right? Shout out to David. He's a developer here in South Florida. He said 2024 is like the preparation, and then it's going to take off in 2025, right? And that's really how he sees it from a development standpoint and an investment standpoint. I kind of agree with that. And for us, the everyday agent on the ground, boots to the ground, you'll see a big uptick probably third, fourth quarter. That's kind of my prediction, right? Because when we talk predictions, we're just making predictions. We don't have the crystal ball. Okay. So that's it, guys. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Those are just some things I wanted to come on, promote my social media challenge as well. That's free. Make sure you do it. That way you guys can really level up your social media. It's the first challenge I'm doing for free. So make sure you take advantage of it. I think we've already had like 100 people register. It's just out of control. Okay. That's it for this one. Every other link is in the description below. All right. See you guys.